Sup? Hello, welcome. Howdy do, Dolly. How did he doodle Lee? How did he doodle Lee? Well, Lee's a pretty interesting and simple character to draw, so he managed to achieve his goal. Success. Great job. Welcome back. I haven't done much posting in a while, at least not on Anchor, so I'm going to do that along with this, which is also going on YouTube. So if you want to see a face along with this voice, you can pop onto my YouTube channel, which is R Self, capital O-U-R, capital S-E-L-F. If you would like to hear it in a podcast, I think it's the same thing on Anchor or any other podcast platform. Go for it. Then again, we have to see if this is going to be worthwhile, so we'll be finding out together if it will be. So, number one, why do numbers exist? Well, as a form of measurement, so we can kind of work in terms of now, later, and before. But then, does before and later really exist? Well, in some sense, yes, but they happen at the same time because there's no difference between now and then, or then, or soon to be. Same thing. Supposedly, according to a theory by Einstein about time. Now, I'm not going to claim I know a lot about this particularly, but I guess talking about it and trying to figure out would be cool. But basically saying how if everything is happening at the same time... No, I'll need to think about this one a bit more. But basically in one of his things he was saying that if you were to take a rocket and blast it off and swirl around the earth fast enough, you could literally catch yourself taking off, which is perplexing. Very weird. Something to do with depending on space. Ugh, I don't really think I'm here to talk about this. No, I'm not in a good space to talk about. I know nothing really about that. I just stick with the now, to be very honest with you. It seems to work pretty well for me. If I plan to meet someone later, I'll meet them a now from now. Or a now from now. A now from now. That works. I'm not gonna think too much about anything else. If it doesn't have any if it's not usable, there's another word for that. If it's not practical, then to me at least, then I'm not really gonna worry about it too much. If it comes up again in the future, then why worry about it? I do notice a lot of people worrying about things that are just completely out of their control, really. Like, stuff is just stuff. Things happen. Like, the best you can do is change and work with how you react or respond rather towards it. So worry about you, don't worry about everything else changing. All these things outside of you, it's so messed up. Like, I mean, you could try, yeah, work with it, do what you can, but don't stress yourself out over it, you know? Like, you either do something or you just let it be. And if you've done something about it, then there's no need to worry. But if you can't do anything about it, then there's still no need to worry. So worry is just redundant, completely out the window. No use to me, no use to you, no use to anybody. So I think we'd do a lot better without it. So we can chuck that right out the window. See, discernment is important when dealing with things. What is useful? Is it useful to be worrisome? No. Is it useful to be practical? Yeah. Is it useful to think about philosophy? No, but it can be fun, I guess. To think of things beyond yourself. Or think of things deep within yourself. And the correlation between the two. As above, so below, as they say. So if I am choosing to be calm and be more centered and choose to accept circumstances and work with them instead of try and change them and break them. How does that work on the above? If my below is in a certain way, will the above kind of work according to it? And likewise, I was reading a book called something or other, and it will come to me. It's basically saying, look at the universe, look at your body, and you'll get an idea of how the universe is working. Now, all your cells work in their own little space and do their own little thing to help. Well, that's just what they do. That's their job. Do you think your blood cells are aware that they're helping support a whole system? Maybe. Maybe not. But imagine one of those cells decided, nah, I don't need to do that. I don't need to work to do all these jobs. I just want to sit around. I want to do my own thing. I don't like these arteries. They're too small. I need to make them bigger. Then you see this guy making a conservatory, little blood cell conservatory hanging out the side of one of my blood cells. Do you think that's going to help me function? It's probably going to cause a bit of distraught, and eventually that will affect my leg and the whole thing, and then maybe you'll have to get amputated, and then maybe I lose too much blood, and then maybe I die, and so on and so on and so on. If you were to see us as our own unique little blood cells in the world, I mean, we very much separate ourselves so that we can have individual works, I guess to say. We just desperately want to do our own thing. Many of us kind of work along with stuff just because, it's the way to go. But it always seems to be, generally it tends to be quite out of sync with the world itself. So imagine the world is your body and you're deciding, nah, I can't be bothered to help out the world. How do you think the world works with that? It's gonna kind of... If the world could vomit, it would be spewing its intestines out right now. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we could be doing better than I think. I only know so much. The negative information tends to be a lot stronger than the not so negative information. So the positive information is not quite getting through for some weird reason. But then, if we were to only get positive information about the things that were going on, most of us would be like, well, no need to worry too much. Things seem to be working well. People are doing right things. What do I need to do? It's alright. That's not going to really serve the purpose. So maybe the fact that we're focusing on negative news all the time is maybe beneficial. Not so? Because now we see, oh, okay, things are really getting bad here. Let's fix it up a little. Let me do my part to serve. Service. Surrender unto service. I really love that word, surrender. Allowing yourself to just float away. Just forget about you and just work in correlation or conjunction. In conjunction. Let me see what I mean by that when I use that word. Conjunction. Joys of Google, expanding my vocabulary. Conjunction. Meaning a word used to connect clauses and sentence. The action or instance of two or more events or things occurring at the same point in time or space.
Conjunction. 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 Conjunction.
The action or an instance of two or more events or things happening at the same point. Isn't that everything? Let's loop full circle back to the beginning of our talk about time and how the past and the future and the now all happening all at the same time. So everything is in conjunction. Weird. Coexists. It's simultaneous. conjunction. Oh, where everything meets. Oh, so everything meets together. So this is the point where everything meets right now in this little space. This is the conjunction of where everything coexists and coincides. I may be using that correctly, I may not. I feel like I am. This is the conjunction because it's a junction of co-inhabitants and simultaneousness. Look, I'm learning. I may be incorrect, yeah, but I'm figuring it out. If someone wants to correct me on that, please feel free. I think we're so scared of being wrong. Are we not? And if we are, why? We don't want to be not smart. We don't want to be dumb donkeys. You know? Why? It's like, it's fine. Like, everyone's got their niche, you know? I wish to expand my vocabularic niche because I like to talk and stuff, so I could make it better. I'm like, good talking. I don't know, maybe. There's things I'm good at and things I'm not so good at. Maths, not really for me. But then again, I haven't really put much attention or effort into it. I could probably become a great mathematician. I could do very good in it. However, my passion for it is not there, so I feel no need to worry about it in any way. Like, I don't wish to be smart in that area. I could definitely be smart in that area. Anyone could be good at anything, but it's the passion and the curiosity towards it that makes you good at it. So smart is just someone being really passionate about something that they learn a whole bunch about it, you know. Same with talent. I don't believe in talent either. Again, it's just time and effort and passion. You only put time and effort into things that you're passionate about. There are people who are very good at things that they're not passionate about. Because why? Because they put time and effort into it. That's all they've done. It's time and effort. Where are you putting your time and effort? Into something you enjoy or something you don't really enjoy? I don't know. But I'm asking you, what are you doing? Let me ask myself, what am I doing? Where am I putting my time and my effort? I'm putting time and effort into music. I could probably put more time and effort into it, but I put a fair amount into it. Not the most, because maybe there's other things I want to do. I want to learn how to speak better. I want to be better at communicating and expressing myself, and I do. Again, I need to do more of that if I want to. I wish to take public speaking classes. I have an app on my phone teach me a new word every day, but I keep forgetting the word that I learn every day. So that's it's not helping me much, not so much. But yeah, are you enjoying what you're doing? Like, look, at the end of the day, you've got to enjoy what you're doing in life. Like, what is the point otherwise? I mean, you can settle and just kind of deal with the situations of things. Yeah, you can, but fuck off. Sorry. Beep. Yeah. I just, you're just tearing yourself down, and if you're tearing yourself down, your blood cells are going to be like, well, the Earth's literally just not bothered with itself, so why are we fueling this thing, like, if it is aware of the whole? I feel like the best way I can understand a blood cell, because it moves, it's like, it's living in a sense. You can relate it to like a plant. Like, you look at a plant first glance and you're like, it's not really alive. But then if you were to speed up, it just moves at a slower pace. It's like really slow. It's a time, and it moves, and it grows, and it does shift. It is alive. Of course, it's life right there. But what I find interesting is like how like flocks of birds or like schools of fish, they swerve and they make these crazy patterns and they stay in their groups so eloquently, and they never hit each other. You never see a bird falling out of the sky or a fish getting knocked out. And you gotta wonder, like, is that what we could be like as people if we just kind of took the mind away? But I guess there's also a fear in that because we don't want to lose our individuality. We don't want to lose our separateness because we feel like we're special. Like, I'm me, not you. Something special about me. Yeah, there is. But mostly, mostly shines through when you're with other people and you're connected with other people. You know, not kind of showing off on standing on pedestals, you know. When you're connected. And you get out of your own way. You allow for something to happen. I think I read, I can't remember who, I think it might have been Alan Watts who I read this from. Oh no, actually maybe this book, this Donald Walsh guy, saying that we're scared to, we don't want to let go of ourselves because we feel like we need a person in order, we need to be a person in order to enjoy something. Because if we feel like there's no us, then there's no us to enjoy that situation. But you don't need whoever you are to enjoy it. You just enjoy, you know. You don't need to enjoy. Enjoying just happens. It arises. So stop trying to do things. Just do it. That's actually just as frustrating as well, I think. Not just doing things that you don't want to, but trying to do something that you want. Just do it. Like, don't. The attempting of doing something is, again, maybe I need to correct myself a bit here because that might be I think that might be a belief that I've held on to. The whole idea that for a while I've had, like, if you're trying, you're not doing it because you're not pulling your full self into it, which is true. But then some people don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna do something, do it full. You know, what's the point? What is the point in trying? Maybe because people want to dip their toes in and it's kind of like, is it nice? Maybe, I don't know. Just dive in. Take a breath. But then look before you leap. But then take a leap of faith. Which way you go, you know? Contradictions everywhere, left, right, and centered. Conjuncting to where we are right now. So, yeah, what are we going to do? I don't know, but I'm trying to figure that out. Think for yourself. That is an important one. Think for yourself. Figure it out. This is the only real reason why I'm doing this cast and video. It's because I'm just trying to think for myself and figure out what's going on in my head and what's my ideas and what's someone else's ideas, and discerning what does not serve and working on what is of service. Testing things out. As Buddha says, don't believe what I say, experience it for yourself. So, that is what I shall do. That is what I am currently doing. Not trying, I'm doing. I'm doing, putting effort into creating something. I do believe that everyone can sing. The problem is people think they can sing either too early or they just have no belief that they can sing. But again, it's just down to development of the vocal muscles to work in a specific way. The only way you would not be able to sing is if you did not have a voice at all. Even then, again, I'm sure there's ways you could work around that. Silent singing? It's just mouth sounds, isn't it? Singing is vocal. I don't know, maybe. Oh, you can get that lecture thing, can't you? That you could probably sing that. It's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Hey. I don't really feel like things need to have a plan. I mean, unless you've got an idea, expand through that and develop it and open it wider, but otherwise just kind of flow and explore, right? No need to. I mean, that's how you find the ideas. You just kind of open up and you just kind of swim until you find a block of wood that you're like, oh, I could make something nice out of that, you know? It's all about seeking and searching. But in order to do that, you got to be willing to kind of just chuck things out, which is what I'm currently doing right now. I have no rhyme nor reason. And just kind of exploring ideas, I guess. Do you want to make money? Is that what you want? Do you want to have kids? Is that what you want? Do you want to have babies and babies and babies and name them all Jim, even if it's a girl? Like to mate with a girl named Tim. I'd like to meet a girl named Tim. I'd like to meet a boy named Janice. Janice is a girl from France. Woo! Exploration of ideas, thoughts, and sounds, and whatever you want, really. Whatever. This is the joy of the world, is that you can do whatever you want with it. Stop limiting it and play with it, you know? Like you need a particular thing. I mean, I guess I need a particular thing if I want people to listen to me, but I don't think I necessarily want people to listen to me, and that may be a lie in some way. Maybe I do want people to listen to me, but I mean, you know, I think I've got to let go of that need for people to listen to me in order to kind of be a bit more honest with myself, you know, because I think we all want to be heard and all want to be cared for and loved and so on and so forth. But I think once you have let that go and realize that you do give everything that you have everything that you need, and you can just give it to yourself, then you don't feel a need to give yourself to others. Instead, you just surrender, and you just fall into the presence of others instead of trying to take something from that situation, you know. The idea of taking is a very stressful. It's a tense. You need the pressures, you know. It's very, you'll mold yourself up, but the thing is, when you give and you offer, you are essentially giving to you're receiving. When you give, you receive, because if you question enough and you look around enough and really look into someone's eyes, you'll see beyond the outer layers and structures of where they came from and what their name is and how old they are and da-da-da, and you'll see something very familiar, something that you had, that's existed with you your whole life. You see yourself. So by giving, you end up receiving. So you no longer need to take anymore. You have everything you need. And when you recognize that, all you want to do is give it and just share it and throw it around and play with it and make it bigger and better and then throw the ball to someone else and then they can make it bigger and better. If you can find people that know how to expand things rather than keep it for themselves, but help build an idea and work with it and pass the ball around and continuously share, because they recognize that by sharing they are receiving, then you're in a constant explosion of just love. It's like the Big Bang Theory all over again, but its source is just compassion and understanding and creativity and love. And whew, it's so good. That's a great joy. That's a good one. Wait a minute. So yeah, why need, you know? Why need? So if you want food, give food. Then will you get food? Maybe the guy will share with you. Maybe you'll take it. Well, if he's willing to, yep, and then I don't know. I think it's an interesting test. So let's think about that a sec. So if we're gonna give, we have to have something to offer. But like stuff and things, and it's like it'll break very soon, maybe, you know. So this kind of stuff is just like it's just toys. It's nothing. It can be fun and enjoyable to play with, but when we're talking about something a bit more meaningful, like love or understanding, it's a lot deeper. Because like this will only give me joy for a few moments, but to recognize that joy and love and understanding in yourself and giving that to yourself, you kind of make way for something a bit more, I want to say, permanent. Is love always there? I'm told love is always there. I've read a lot about how it's always just love. It can always be love, I feel. But then it can always be hate. It can always be happiness. It can always be sadness. No. Well, you have to be pretty adamant about making that happen. But then again, people who are constantly trying to search for happiness find themselves losing it. So, if you were to constantly search for sadness, would you constantly be losing it? If I attempt to be sad, I did this I was messing with this a few times before, but I found like the more I try to put myself in a sad state, the more I kind of just ended up laughing at myself because I just saw the ridiculousness of it. Sadness. Okay, I'm going to try it. I think there's a bit of fear of the mind, kind of, that to attempt to create something that you don't want is a bit like, well, I don't want to be that, you know. But if I was to try it, say I'm sad, bad things have happened. The ice cream man's outside, so it's hard now. That's what I mean. I try to be sad and something distracts me from doing so. Ay. You know, sometimes as a kid when you're in a really bad mood and then your mum just goes, "Are you upset? What are you doing? Stop." And then you just kind of end up farting with laughter, and then you laugh even more because you just farted and your whole sadness is ruined. Thanks, Mom. Ruin my sadness with your silly happy joy. So maybe try do what you don't want. Try and invoke something that you don't want necessarily and see what happens. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be angry. I just feel constipated of anything. Banana. Hey. Hmm. So give. There's a good thing I must remember. Give. I find myself trying to remember things, and then they just go. So maybe if I try to forget them, I'm just curious to see if the opposite might have create the opposite effect. I mean, yeah, because if people really are constantly trying to search for happiness because they feel they can't find it, but maybe that comes down to I want happiness, you know, and it's like, well, if you want it, okay, that's the state you're given. It's abracadabra, and that literally means I don't know what language it comes from, but it literally means I create what I speak. I speak what I speak manifests what I create. I create what I speak. So yeah, when I say like I want happiness, that means like, okay, you can have that. Like, okay, there you go. Want, want happiness. And in order for you to want happiness, you got to not have it. So it's always going to be a situation of, okay, I want happiness. So, okay, it's not here. So therefore I get more of that wanting happiness. Want happiness. I want happiness. I want happiness. No, I want happiness. Yeah, you're wanting happiness. No, I want it. Yeah, you're wanting it. No. I want happiness. Like, I want it here. Okay, so you're implying that it's over there. Well, it's not here. Well, yeah, because you made it like that. It's like, okay, then I am happy. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I am happy. Good. Are you happy? Yeah. You happy? Yeah. Are you really happy though? Yeah. Are you though? Are you? Yeah. Maybe. Are you happy though? Yeah. Like, personally, I've kind of stopped looking for happiness. I'm not really, I mean, I'd like sustainability and a bit of a joy and, yeah, I like to enjoy like the things I'm doing. I want to do work that fulfills me and such and so forth. So that's twice now. At least my memory's on point. But yeah, I think that's fundamentally what I'm looking for. I want that. Well, does that mean you create? You're not getting it? Okay, I have. I think that's it. It's creating it, and if you feel that, I don't know how things kind of work in correlation to this. Like for a long time, I kind of saw things as very esoteric, like everything's energetic and flowing, and we work in a mix, and it's like magnets and energy and such and so forth, and like I can only know that if I experience it, and I have experienced like weird like synchronicities and such, but I almost said and so forth again, but I've realized that I've had to be very careful of like what I'm hearing. Like, yeah, I think you have to be a bit skeptical because people talk a load of poop, you know. Look at like Scientology and all these other religions. Like, they just kind of, a lot of it's just kind of, oh, it sounds interesting. Yeah, I assume that's probably true. Even scientists as well. Like, you just kind of assume, oh yeah, it must be. I heard this. Yeah. Oh, is it true though? Yeah. It said it on the Facebook. Okay. Did you read the whole thing? Is it? No. Well, it just said that in the title. It's like, oh, okay. So the title tells you everything you need to know. Yeah. Monkeys are made from Tyrannosaurus Rex meat. Yeah. I mean, from a chemical standpoint, it's kind of the same thing, I guess. If Tyrannosaurus Rex has even existed, I mean, we have the bones. I haven't. I mean, I've seen the bones, but they might not even be the real. I don't know. I don't really know, you know. How would I know? I'm just kind of playing with the ideas and seeing them. So I don't know, the law of attraction and stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, to a sense, of course it works, but I don't think quite in the magical, mystical way that it first appears to be. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's like energetic fields that I'm not. Obviously, there's a lot going on that I can't see. I'm very aware there's a lot going on, but I can't just assume that I know it. You know, I can't assume, yes, there's definitely mystical things going on around us that we can't see with our eyes because we can only see a certain amount of light. So there's other spirits and stuff walking through and they help us and bring things through. Like, I don't know that. It's possible, no flipping doubt, but like, I don't know. To be someone who confirms that, like constantly and believes that is like, yes, I'm certain. I'm sorry. Maybe you had an experience that you feel was, but like I've had weird experiences as well. I've seen some crazy stuff. I've met other beings and whatnot, but you know, I'm a creator. I can create a lot of things. You know, doesn't mean they're not necessarily relevant or use the information that they had wasn't useful. Like obviously there's a lot, but you know, I can't be certain of anything. I can't be certain that that mirror. Well, I can't be certain that any of this is real. I mean, I kind of have to work with that. Cause like, what else am I gonna do? I just don't. Whatever. It is what it is. You know. But that won't stop me from experimenting. I'll continue to see what works. Like there are things that works, like staying positive and constructing your mind to, and yeah, like thinking in certain ways can make you feel a certain way, and when you feel a certain way you express yourself in a certain way, and when you express yourself in a certain way you give that kind of feeling off to other people, because when someone else sees someone else doing something positive, the same part of their brain lights up that would if they were doing it themselves. So if, for example, like I'm sitting here and I'm watching someone skateboard, it lights up like say this part of my brain, like the left side. I'm not certain if that's the specific side, but it will light up a certain part of the brain. And then if I was to do that actual thing itself, the exact same part would light up. So therefore you're kind of collecting vibes from other people just by you know, observation and whatnot. So you can kind of create a feeling and it can influence other people. I don't think it's quite vibes, and I mean in a sense, but maybe not quite like energy, like whoosh spells and stuff. You know, I think that's a bit maybe not unrealistic, but like what are you talking about? How do you know? You know, but then again, I'll have to admit, like I heard that idea from someone else. That whole seeing someone else, it lights up the same part of the brain. I don't even know if that's 100% true. The only way I could know that that's true is if I was like a neuroscientist that literally ran that experiment and saw exactly that. Because for all I know, he saw that, but maybe there was a glitch in his machine or something, and I don't know. Like I don't know, but I will test that. I mean, the reason I take it on board is because I feel like I've had past experience that can confirm that idea. Doesn't mean I completely believe it, but it does mean that, okay, this is something I'm going to look at a bit more, work with, and I'll roll the tires until you know we've hit a good speed and we're on a good run. So yeah, I'll work with that. So yeah, being positive and stuff for sure works. I mean, why would you waste your time being negative? If you are feeling negative, I mean, it's very hard to just be like, no, no more negativity, no, no, no. So it's, I think there's maybe many things you could do, but two I'll mention is that you can maybe look into it a bit and kind of diffuse whatever ideas it is you've got in your head that aren't serving you. Because maybe there's a thought pattern there that's really holding you back that you can't quite help. But I mean, understanding it would obviously help you a lot. Like I feel like I need to do that. But then this second thing that I always do is that you gotta reprogram. You gotta shift things up a bit. So you gotta, for example, I do mantras like very regularly. Like I'll just, if I want to be a certain way, I'll say, okay, I am this, I am that, I am grateful that I am this, I am grateful that I am that. And then it starts to create that idea, then starts to create a feeling, and then that feeling starts to create an expression, and then that moves on. So it all starts with the mind, and then that mind starts to go. So it's mind, body, and soul, I guess, is the way that they say it. The holy trinity of things. And if you want to undo it, I guess they say go backwards. See how, yeah, what do you, look at your surroundings and see how people act around you. Do they look positive, or are they being quite negative? It's very interesting, actually, now that I say that. How are people, the best way to see yourself is to look at how people are acting around you. Alright? And then analyze that, see how that is, and then have a look at look at what you're doing. Like, how are you expressing? What are you giving off to people? And then look at the mind, and then be like, okay, what is going on in the mind that is making all these things happen? And then understand all the directions and the perspectives of what could be going on, and choose something better. You can literally choose whatever you want. Choose a whole new thing. You know? But I would say careful of that, because you don't want to choose something that does not work in unison with who you are. And what I mean by who you are is what you most enjoy being. But maybe there's a lot of sides of yourself that you haven't explored that you might really enjoy. You know, maybe you do enjoy being a bit like, hey. I don't know what that means. Like I don't know, maybe it's good to be a bit rough sometimes. Maybe it's nice to be sensitive and soft and chilled. Maybe it's fun to be dramatic or whatever, you know. But yeah, so find that. Well, explore. Again, it's all about exploration at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, what I mean by choosing who you are is like, you'll find that a lot of the things that you see that you don't like about yourself, they have a positive niche to it, a very interesting one. I think we just have a habit of judging ourselves and doubting a lot. Like, judgment and doubt are a big thing with individuals. So if you look at where your doubt is, and then you look at the thing itself and question why you're doubting it, yeah, why are you doubting it? Why do you feel it's not, people don't want to see that? So are you worried about how other people are seeing you? Yeah, again, when it comes to looking at other people, also be wary that maybe they're just not the type of people that embrace who you want to be. I mean, if you're around really open and honest and loving people, they don't really care what you're doing, you know. But I think a big thing as well is that we desperately want friends. We desperately want company. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, talking personally, yeah, that would be nice. But I find most of the company that I find myself in is not one that I personally enjoy, because it doesn't. Because it just doesn't feel comfortable for me. Like, I don't know, I guess maybe I'm being picky. Maybe I want a certain type of friend, certain people I want to be around, which is like, yeah, I'm discerning. Like, I don't want to waste my time on people who just don't want to offer. If people don't want to give or receive, you know, they've got to be willing to give. People take a lot, and it's just like, well, that's no fun. Taking is no fun, because like, I'm trying to play a ball game here and you're holding the ball that I've just offered you, and it's like, well, okay, on your own, you know. At the same time, I would like to also be able to help people open up and create a space where they're allowed to be what they want to be, so that we can learn to play this game together, you know, of giving and receiving. But that's a hard game in itself, because there's not, I can't tell someone to be a certain thing. I can't, it's not up to me. Like, they have to make that choice. So it's not like I can be in and be like, well, be you, stop being silly. Like, I can't, it's not my game. So how can I tell people what to do, you know? So the best I can do is learn how to create a more comfortable space for someone else. But then that's also confusing because everyone likes a different space. So how am I supposed to, I don't know. I'm doing the best I can. But again, I'm still quite young as well, so I've got some time to figure this stuff out. But I'm excited for the journey, because I'm on it. Oh, jeez Louise. But yeah. Yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. Gonna get them good Lord. Only got $20 coming on my pocket. Yeah, I'm looking for money. This is flipping awesome. Be still. Stillness is nice. Be stilly dilly. Be stilly dilly. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave you at that. You play as you will. You do as you want, and if you're gonna run with down into the sea. Toodles.